All right. Good morning, everybody. Well, at least morning for me. The fun quirks of the closing shift. Not quite overnight, not quite daytime. But always fun. So, hope everyone's weekend is going well. I think I'm going to try and just keep this like Sunday-based weekend thing going. Oh, first, I do have to pay my landlord, apparently. Yes, yes, yes. I don't know why, but he loves to actually try and hit me when I go and get his food bowl. This is very unclear what he really wants then. All right. Cats can be so entertaining. And potentially insanity inducing. Yes, here we go. Yes. 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 Indeed. All right. Now that he's fed, maybe I can get something to eat. Okie dokie. But as I was trying to say, I'm going to try and kind of keep this as a weekly check-in for myself, and also if anybody else wants to chime in with anything. Just, I had hoped to actually do a that special recording that I'd kind of hinted at here and there, but unfortunately, well, no, not unfortunately. I was trying to pop out 2 auditions for 2 different, I think one's an animation and one's an audio drama. So fingers crossed on those. I'm just waiting to get some feedback on the quality from the casting groups that I'm with. Let's see. But in the meantime, let's make breakfast, shall we? And also get ready to go to work. I do have some cool stuff coming up on the 3D printing. I am still waiting on getting the lenses in for the Doctor Doom helmet, and I'm going to show off the gunmetal metallic airbrush paint that I'm working on, that I'm going to use. But that is all going to come up in the next, hopefully, few videos. The one that's coming up I think is really cool, especially with the movie release coming out next week. I got early tickets to go see that, and I cannot wait. Right, I think I'd mentioned this on the first one as one of the reasons I decided to force myself to do this video. Just unfortunately, my dad decided to interrupt. I would have done an audition earlier tomorrow if my dad hadn't decided to interrupt. Complicated relationship and complicated misunderstanding of the existence of personal space. But, oh, come on. There's one thing I did kind of casually throw out there when I recorded that video, is that I was wanting to try and work on losing weight. I think I brought that up a few times with the 3D printing. So let me pull it up here. I actually got around to making sure I did it last night. I've tried using, my issue, a lot of it is that I work in a place that is full of food and very stressful and toxic. And my stress outlets manifest in one of 2 very helpful ways. One is stress spending. That works out great for everybody who's not Elon Musk or something. The other method is stress eating in a place surrounded by food. I've been doing really great with that department. But one thing I've kind of, I don't know if you've heard of this app. I was Googling it around after I found out that, what was it called again? That MyFitnessPal went the way of, the dodo. once they sold it off to that other company, and they make you pay $80 or $100 and something a year to access the scanner. That and the fact that their social media monitoring team apparently allows anything to be posted. So, crypto investors promising magic spells to cure my cancer and make the love of my life fall in love with me just does not seem fitness related for some reason. I don't quite know why. But no, MyFitnessPal is one I'm not using. I looked around and I do actually like Macro Factor. It is a subscription, but it relies more on the algorithm and math and nutritional data versus step stuff. They're working to get more step data in from Android devices as Android works on, Google and Samsung work on creating a more accurate system. Oh, there it is. But I'm trying to keep reasonable goals this time instead of just shooting for where I would really, really like to be and then letting the algorithm give me very intense metrics there. I can probably up that once I'm done with working in this particular job, but that may take a while. I've tried, I've tried some medical stuff on it. Unfortunately, one of the really intense ones, I guess is the right word. What's it? Wegovy or whatever, or Ozempic. Those are not things that I can get, at least not without paying full price. But that's nowhere near an option. It's just a struggle when you try to, and then you can't, and you have all the negative toxic behavior there. But that's not what we're going to talk about. We're going to try and be productive. So, let me show this off a bit, in case no one's ever seen it. I've got my tablet that I'm probably going to drop and touch all over while I'm doing this. Okay, so I don't have the screen. Oh yeah, because it's trying to follow me. But yeah, I've got a weekly allocation set out. It can be pretty flexible. I do like this system, and I've got my smart scale set up to help streamline this a bit better. I gained, ever since the foot surgery over a year ago and how dark last year was, I've gained a lot of weight back, and I've just struggled to get back into the gym. I'm going to try and just at least do some home cardio and some body weight stuff, as I'm trying to focus a lot on partly the channel and working on keeping consistent with that. And then also the voice acting stuff and getting those auditions out. And it's just trying to go to the gym even 3 days a week was just too much time consumption. It ate up too much. So we're going to work on this. I've got a VR headset so I can do like Beat Saber or something. Just at least try and do some cardio, push-ups, that kind of thing. I love sinus congestion. It's so awesome. But yeah, I do meal prep at home. If anybody's interested in that, I can always showcase off my minimal little system. I'd love to actually do more complex cooking, but that's a time and money thing. Because I do batches of protein mac and cheese with a Dang it. Should have seen that coming. With a Instant Pot. So it probably doesn't help I haven't put my meds together for the week, so my hands are shaking a bit. Yay for hand tremors. Yay. Okay, there we go. Sure, nobody tagged along. Nope, good. Okay. Yeah. The goal right now is to get back down from, hate saying it, currently at about 316 is what I just weighed in at. So we're going to try, and I'm trying to shoot for like 15 to 20 pound increments. So I'd say currently it is getting down to 300, and then from there it'll be 280 and then 260. According to the infographics on the scale, ideal would be below 240. Personally, I'd like to just get around to being at about 250 or so, but more muscle mass, less Jigglypuff. So that's me, but going to work on that if I can get things opened. Okay. But yeah, that's kind of where we're at with the weight stuff. Hopefully that'll continue to improve, which will also probably help my breathing with voice acting. And I may actually do a video showcasing that one day, just so that it gives me a legitimate, a motivating factor, so that I can be like, oh, I have to do this so people will stay interested. Therefore, I must do this for reasons more than just me, and can't lax out of it as much. That lethargy and everything else is a problem. And in ways, I am using the channel and the content creation to hold me more accountable with stuff by the fact that I'm simply having to, in order to build the channel, I have to do it. So there's that. But I am trying to monitor everything I can and just kind of not try and go too extreme on the weight loss, so that I don't fumble and get upset with myself for not hitting it. Yeah. And here is a cat that I have to walk over, because cats clearly understand what happens with feet, especially big feet. No. Good grief. Okay. But yeah, the week is going good. Doing better day by day from that friendship thing from last week. But yeah, I'm focusing on moving forward, focusing on getting more content out and getting more auditions done. The plugins that I got recently, the iZotope plugins for my audio software Reaper, is actually doesn't seem like it needs quite as much learning time as I thought. So I think I might be able to do that. And the RX11, some of its plugins are definitely going to help with the fun areas, like the editing one has to do for audiobooks. Like, you think audiobooks are easy, but they really aren't. At least for me, they aren't, because you have to go through and do all the editing. So it's like, just because it's an hour-long book doesn't mean that it's an hour-long recording or an hour-long process. But that's me. And so this, I think, will help a lot, because it has the ability to edit out different parts. But yeah, let's see where we're at. 14 minutes. I don't want to push this too long and bore people. Yeah, I've got good stuff coming out this week, or planned to come out this week. I've got, to go ahead and spoil it just a little bit, I've got the Superman seal, which I'm going to actually be going to go see the movie next Tuesday. Got the early tickets through Amazon. I get to go see it in IMAX. And I am making the seal. And I stumbled upon it, was hidden in the back of my selection of metallic paints, because I didn't think I was going to use it. I'm going to be doing it with gold metallic. I think it's more of a dark blue, but I think it'll look great. And then I did find a brighter red metallic. All three are from Vallejo. And I will be doing those. I don't necessarily know if I'll do them as a straight long video, because I know those can get really long, and I don't know if people are actually interested in seeing the entire process as I ramble. Especially since this will be my first time doing painting using my airbrush, but not just painting one piece, but doing 3 different colors on one piece. So this will be new, and so it will be a very long video. Let's see, a second here. Okay, there we go. But yep, my breakfast is almost ready, and then I've got to get ready to go to work. I've got to go hit the gas station on the way to work. But yeah, that's one of the cool things. If the weather is better outside, I'll probably try and see if I can get in the shed long enough to survive to, just long enough to survive to get the outlet switched out. I had to, when we first, the first year I moved into my grandparents' house, I was changing out the thermostat to a Ecobee smart thermostat, and my mom had come down and we were trying to get some stuff done with the house, and we went up there because the furnace and the wiring was all up there, and because it was so old, we had to use the adapter that they provide. We did not have the AC connector plugged in properly. So in July, with a outside temperature of 113 and fans that had been running but no AC circulating in the house, I crawled up there and barely managed to get it connected. My hands were shaking from the heat exhaustion up there, because it's a metal roof, because that's what my grandmother wanted. So yeah. Hopefully I can get that outlet fixed. Insulation is definitely going to have to be a big priority at some point. It may just mean that I get less stuff done in the shed, or that the videos have to be super short just to be able to handle that heat. That's a whole different thing for a whole different day. This is where I'm going to end it for today. I hope everybody has a great weekend. And thank you to everyone who's subscribed recently. And thank you to everybody who's watched my voice acting practice. I was so nervous doing that. But yeah, I hope everybody has a great weekend. Bye.